And now, Jag, you spoke on Piers Morgan saying that you used to be in this world, of the sex worker world, and you've seen kind of the depravity that the human mind could go to.
You want to know one of the reasons why I was able to put myself in position to get the deal that I got?
Yeah.
Because of my sex work. See, I had just enough dirt on the right person to get me past Hank Shockley, who was blocking me to protect Mary J. Blige's very fragile image.
So let me ask.
Listen to me.
Please.
Prostitute and actress meant the same thing in 1865. If you were called an actress, that meant you were a prostitute. See.
Hey YouTube world, Harvest, there's plenty. Thanks for stopping by to check out the video. So that was Jaguar Wright. You heard it from the horse's mouth. She said that she was involved in sex work. She was a sex worker. And that's how she was able to get her contract and whatever else accolades that she got as a singer, songwriter, whatever the case may be. Now, hearing her say that herself, you know, she's being honest. I'm not judging Jaguar Wright, and neither should you. But she's being honest, and she's telling the truth. And that probably surprises a lot of people. You know, it's very shocking, actually. Very, very shocking, actually. That's me doing an accent. But it's very shocking to a lot of people to hear those words being uttered out of people's mouth. But that's the name of the game. That's how it's always been played in the music industry, in the movie industry, in the fashion industry, in politics, in a lot of places. In order for you to ascend to the top and make all of that money, become famous and do those things, as I told you guys before, you have to be initiated. That's a given into something. Either you're going to join the Freemasons, the Eastern Stars, the Order, the Golden Dawn, Witchcraft Coven. You know, you're going to become a warlock. You're going to join the Church of Satan or whatever. You're going to join something. You're going to get involved and initiated into something. That's a given. And you're going to have to turn tricks with your body. You know, some people, they are okay with it. Others, they are not okay with it. But they do what they need to do in order to get that bag, to get that money, and to get those movie roles, to get those music contracts, and, you know, to do whatever else. And I've been saying that for a long time, and I really don't think that you guys believe me when I say these things. You know, people say, oh, he's just a conspiracy theorist, peddling conspiracy theories. But if you notice, everything that I say, I back up. You know, matter of fact, they just arrested the ex-CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. Go look that up. The ex-CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. This guy, the ex-CEO, he got arrested for sexual assault, for rape, for sex trafficking. You know, he got a slew of charges, him and his little crew. And what he was doing was he was telling these male models who were coming in to work for the store or for the company that he had to try them out sexually first. You want this modeling contract? You want to get on? Let's have this meeting in the hotel room and discuss it. And he made the male guys turn tricks. Then he created a sex ring, and he was sending a lot of them domestically in the U.S. and also overseas, you know, to meet up with other men for money for sex work. Look it up. The ex-CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. And as I said, this is the year of the dragon. So a lot of exposure is going to be coming. A lot more people are going to be taken down. A lot of things are going to be revealed. And that's only the tip of the iceberg with Puff Daddy, with what happened with the ex-CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. I mean, there's so many people involved because that's the nature of the game. I remember listening to, I told you guys I like sports, and I was listening to Gilbert Arenas talk about sports one time. Gilbert Arenas, for those of you guys who don't know, he played basketball in the NBA. He made a lot of money played for I think 4 teams or whatever in the NBA, and he ended up retiring because of injuries. But he retired as a rich guy, and he was telling a story that he was at a basketball game after, that's after he stopped playing. He's in retirement. He's at a basketball game, and Holly Berry walks by, and he's like, "Ooh, that's Holly Berry." Man, I like her. She's cute, she's fine, all of this stuff. And he starts telling a story about the guys that was sitting in front of him. As a matter of fact, let's listen to his clip and let him tell it from the horse's mouth.
2004. I knew it was around that time. 2003, 2004. Went to the playoff series. And Holly Berry's walking by. And I'm like, oh, shit, Holly Berry, bro. Fine. And it was like 4, 5 white dudes sitting there. Now, Harvey Weinstein, he was one of them. And so I'm not in the front row. I'm in that, it's like the front row. And then you got the little space, and then the first row after that, so it's like the second row. And they were sitting there talking about, oh, now she acting like she don't know us. She wasn't saying that when she needed that part. Every single one of them hit. I was like, no, not Holly. No, not them. Yuck. Damn, they got the berry.
It really sucks that this world is so depraved and evil and sin-filled and fallen. But that's the way it's been since Adam fell in the garden. When Satan took Jesus up to the high mountain, he told him, he said, look at my kingdoms. These are mine. And I give them to whoever I'm pleased, or whoever I please to give them to. You guys know the scripture. I'm paraphrasing. And that's just the way it is until he's cast in the lake of fire, him and all his fallen angels, and they are destroyed. And that won't happen until the second coming. Until then, these industries will continue to be controlled by the dark side. They have gatekeepers on every rung of the ladder. And there's so many doors you have to go through. There's so many testimonials that I put up on my channel of people talking about that. Remember the video I did with Kevin Hart and Jay-Z? And Kevin Hart said he finally was let through one door. And when he got behind that one door, he was like, wow, how long you guys been back here? Is this how you guys making all of this money? And is this how you guys collecting all this information? How come I didn't know about this? And he was just astounded. And then he said there was another door that he was not able to get through yet. And Jay-Z said he'd been through a couple doors. I have a video where Nori said he'd been through 3 doors. There are gatekeepers. There are people who are put in place at every level to decide whether or not you are worthy to get through to that next level. And part of that worthiness is either you being initiated into something or you're turning tricks with your body. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, or you're doing both. That's how sick and depraved this world is. Now, Jaguar Wright says she had an experience with this Baphomet figure. And we're going to get to that. Now, if you remember in the scripture says that the evil ones, these Luciferians, they take what is good and they flip it upside down and turn it into evil. And they take what is evil and they flip that and they make what's evil appear to be good. And that's what they did with this figure. I mean, this is straight personification of Lucifer, the devil himself. But in the occult world, they would disagree with me, because to them, this represents the union of opposites, polarity, transcendence, a fusion of sorts, a synthesis of the male and the female, the right and the left, polarity. It has solve and coagula written on the forms of this hermaphrodite figure. It's a transgender figure. It has female breast, with male genitalia. And that should tell you a little bit more about the transgender movement and who's actually behind it and how it's getting funded. It's coming from the occult world. When you have the male and the female and you balance them together, they say you're now in perfect harmony. And so that's why they're pushing this transgender movement and balancing the male and the female. It's a Masonic principle. It's a Luciferian principle. Solving coagula. Polarity, you know, a balance of opposites. That's why you have him pointing up to the white moon and him pointing down to the black moon, as above, so below. On his forehead, he has the torch up there. It's the same torch that is carried in the Olympics that we just had in Paris, the City of Lights. And I still have to put that video out for you guys. The same torch, the light of Lucifer, the torch bearer, the light bearer that's being held by the Statue of Liberty in New York City. It represents illumination. Wisdom. That's where the word Illuminati comes from. Illuminati, illumination, the enlightened ones. When they bite off the apple that was in the Garden of Eden, it's symbolic, of course, the tree of good and evil. You become enlightened. You're illuminated, or whatever case may have you. That's what they say. And even looking at this, you can't get around the angelic wings. There's angel wings on this hermaphrodite figure, telling you that it's angelic in nature. You know, to the Knights Templars, this figure meant one thing. They worshipped it, you know, and they got charged with idolatry, sodomy, magic, Satanism, and all of that stuff, and they were burned at the stake. Jacques de Molay, that's where we get Friday the 13th from. Another video for another time. To Elias Levi, it means one thing, and that's what he taught to his disciples. To Aleister Crowley, it meant something a little bit different, and he taught that to all his disciples. And then if you look at Anton LaVey, and then when they started the Church of Satan in San Francisco, they used the goat head in the inverted pentagram. And you guys can go back to the Church of Satan website and look at that, and you'll see the goat's head, this the top part of the head in the inverted pentagram. You know, the goat of Mendes is what they called it. And actually, and the goat of Mendes was it's from Egypt. It was one of the cities in Egypt, Mendes. But if you look at the Middle East, the word Muhammad and Baphomet, it was actually mentioned sometimes in the same city. I mean, in the same sentence. I'm sorry, Muhammad and Baphomet. You know, I did a video about that, showing how Islam is connected to magic, sorcery, the Kabbalah, because Islam is a false religion, is an antichrist religion, and Muhammad is a false prophet. He received his revelation from a demon inside of a cave. That's from Islamic sources and Islamic history. I'm not making it up. The video that I did about Muhammad and Baphomet, I'm going to link that below for those of you who never seen it. Take a look at it. I mean, the information is there. You know, refute it if you choose, but it's from Islamic sources, so nothing was made up or whatever. Now, cutting back to Jaguar Wright, in addition to her sex work, I honestly think that she was initiated as well, but she can't talk about that. Remember what I said. You can't talk about the initiations because you're now breaking the oath and your life will be in jeopardy. But God bless her, and let's continue to pray for her. God saved her and is still working on her like he's working on all of us, because we are all fallen, we are all sinners, and you know, we're striving to be right, you know, before God. Jaguar Wright is giving us a lot of information that if you're smart enough, you must read between the lines. I mean, she's giving you the information, just read between the lines, it's all there. And as I said, you know, there's certain subjects that she will not touch, like Cat Williams will not touch certain subjects. 50 Cent, you know, who's supposed to be grimy and a gangster and from the streets and got shot, you know, all of these times. He will not even touch these subjects because he was initiated himself. I know people don't believe that, but it's the truth. And that's why he won't touch these things. You know, they have these controlled opposition programs where they give these people like Glenn Beck and Tucker Carlson and all of them this leeway, and they allow them to talk about certain things and to attack certain people, but just stay in this lane and you'll be okay. You know, but if you get outside this lane and start talking about subjects you're not authorized to talk about or attacking people, that you're not authorized to attack, now you will be in trouble and your life will be in jeopardy. So just stay here and talk about this and you will be okay. And that's what Jaguar Wright does, even though she hints at Masonic influence and she hints at satanic ritual abuse and satanic ritual magic and things like that. She doesn't go deep into it. But it's all there. A lot of the sex that takes place, it's not just you coming to the hotel room and you're having sex and you're done. A lot of it is done in a ritualistic fashion because it's part of initiation and satanic rituals and things like that. And Jaguar Wright is going to touch on it a little bit, and I have more videos coming up to dive a little bit deeper into all that stuff. But that's all I have for you guys today. Enough of me talking. Let's get to it. I love you guys. Please give your life to Jesus Christ. Seek his blood. Seek his salvation. Because it's about to get scary. A lot of things are getting ready to take place. And the world is getting ready to be flipped upside down. I love you guys. May God continue to bless you and your family.
Political Jack.
No, they don't want me to get political. Because if I get political, a bunch of men are going to walk through that door. They're going to put a black bag over my head, put twisty ties around here. They're going to drag me out of here and tell any of you, if you say anything, you're dead.
Right. They like entertainment, Jack. They stay in the entertainment industry. That's what they like. That's what they like.
Well, if we're not going to go political.
Poor baby. You're like, oh, it's going to be a rough week. Oh, God damn it, I love you, but shut up.
Let's go deeper. Let's go a little spiritual.
Sure.
Off camera, you talked about your tattoo.
Yeah.
Can you tell the people about your tattoo? I find that very interesting.
My star?
Yes.
It's a cover-up.
What's on the cover? What was before
it
the
covered
cover?
Up the goat's mask that sat at the top of my spine.
What is that?
It was a Baphomet.
And for the people that don't know what that is, can you explain what that is?
It is a symbol that you are protected by the devil and that you are one of the devil's own. No different than Black China had.
Right. And what made you get this tattoo?
Protection.
Right.
I just wanted them to leave me alone.
And by having this tattoo, you were protected at the time.
Left alone.
Left alone.
They want you to wear their symbols. People don't understand that all of these things have a much greater meaning. They want you to feel loyalty. They want you to show the rest of the world that you believe in what they believe in.
Right.
They tag us. Those who refuse to be tagged get persecuted. Those who choose to go along with it and pretend like it doesn't exist.
So, can I ask you, what was your moment of clarity to even want to cover it up? Like, what was that moment of clarity for you to say,
my son's dead body? There is no protection.
Are there any other tattoos that we normally look at and be like, oh, that's cool, but it really has a deeper meaning?
A lot. You have to pay attention to the house they're coming from. You have to pay attention to the way the tags are set up. It was the mask and horns, and then he added the smoke to try to make it look like it was more cartoonish or whatever, but it was what it was. You start etching these things into your skin and your DNA, it becomes a part of you. There is a spiritual aspect to all of this that people aren't recognizing. You know, there's a reason why everyone's wearing so much red these days. There's a reason why all of these checkered themes are coming. These are all Masonic totems and emblems.
If you don't want to engrave your skin, is there anything else that you can do to your body that shows that you're part of this?
Hurt it. Or give it up to be hurt. You know, a lot of people that end up at these wild parties and in these wild ceremonies, because see, everyone's thinking freak off, freak off, freak off. But what you're not thinking is ritualistic human sacrifice.
Right.
Whether or not you're offering up your sexuality or offering up your life force. It's energy, it's transfer. So for Whitney Houston to be unalived in that hotel room, and for him to wait to start the party right as her spirit was completely leaving her.
Wow.
Says a lot. You know,
and Jack, what I was gonna say was, and even in the Piers Morgan interview, he was asking about what happens at these parties. You know, we've seen visual evidence to where, you know, again, Nature Boy is locked up for life, but he himself had visual evidence of him wanting to take advantage of a woman or make love or whatever you want to call it, while other women are dancing in the ritualistic dance around him.
These are all
like,
spiritual
you see
seances. You got to understand, these are practices that have been around long before they started choreographing society. We're talking about thousands and thousands of years. Things were happening here. It wasn't until the past 500 years that the world has gotten caught up into such wild, like nothing. Oh no, that's not real. That's fake. That's not real.
It's programming though. They started giving us,
so. Yeah. MK Ultra. Cloning. Whether they're cloning consciousness or literally cloning physical body. And now we know they're capable of doing both. You know, we got movies called Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yes. Prepping. They're only prepping our minds for what's
You got
really
TV shows like The Walking Dead.
Right.
Like, is nobody paying attention to the fact that that show started in Atlanta, in the city of Atlanta, where the CDC is?
Yes. And
there was a major outbreak. Apparently, there was a vaccine that had mutated, and then it turned everybody into this other stuff. Isn't that how the show started?
Yeah, that's how it started, yeah. Yeah, come on now.
I'm just saying.
They're prepping.